What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about our Crossfire II 2-7x32 crossbow scope, how we have it mounted, and the sight-in process. The mounting process for a crossbow scope is nearly identical to that of a rifle scope. For an in-depth look at that process, please reference the link in the description below. You'll notice that we have this scope mounted forward on the rail. This ensures proper eye relief. Make sure you take eye relief into consideration when mounting your crossbow scope onto your crossbow. We used bubble levels to make sure that the scope was level to our crossbow. Don't worry though, if you don't have bubble levels, just level the crosshairs to your eye. The Crossfire II crossbow scope comes as a kit and includes the rings, flip cap covers, and a torque wrench for mounting. The recommended torque specs are 30 inch-pounds for the bases and 15 to 18 inch-pounds for the ring halves. We used an inch-pounds torque wrench to make sure our torque specs are as accurate as possible. At this point, your scope should be mounted. So now let's head to the range and sight it in. We've made it to the range. We've got our crossbow cocked and loaded. We've built a sturdy base that's not only going to help us be more accurate, but we're also going to use this during the sight-in process to make some of our adjustments. Our target is at 6 yards for the beginning of this process to make sure that we don't lose an arrow, and we're going to be more accurate when we begin zeroing the crossbow at 40 yards. At this close of a range, you're going to want to dial the magnification down to 2 to 4 power so you can focus on the target. For this application, we're going to choose 4 power. Now what we're going to do is fire this initial shot. Chances are it's not going to be right on the X. That's where the sturdy base comes into play. Once we see where that impact is, we can maintain our same hold and use our windage and elevation adjustments to move our reticle to the impact. That way, when we fire our next shot, it should be on target. Okay, cool. Looks like our left-right is perfect, but we're a little bit high. So what we're going to do is look through the scope, keep our original point of aim, dial the turret down so we can visually watch the reticle move up to the impact. Okay, that ought to do it. And that's where these sturdy bags really come into play to make these quick, gross adjustments. We've made our initial adjustment, and now we're ready to fire our second shot. Bingo, got it. All right, we've moved the target back to 40 yards and are going to repeat our initial shot process. We've also dialed the magnification up to 7 so we can be as accurate as possible. All right, it looks like we're just a little bit low and to the left. So as we did before, I'm gonna maintain my center point of aim and move the reticle to the impact. We've made our adjustment and are now going to fire our second shot at 40 yards. Okay, it looks like we're a little bit low and right. Now it's critically important we get this 40-yard zero as accurate as possible. I'm going to fire another shot to rule out that the impact being a little bit off wasn't me, the crossbow, or any other variables, so we can sort out that we have the most accurate 40-yard zero as possible. Now I'm not going to shoot at the exact same spot as I did before because we don't want to damage an arrow. I'm going to shoot at the upper left X on the target. Pretty darn close. Let's go take a look. All right, we've got our initial shot right here. Elevation is perfect, but it's a touch right. Our second shot moved a little bit to the left, but it's still a little bit high and right. So we've got a consistent hit to the right of the X. We're gonna make a slight adjustment, bringing the reticle to the left and then move out to 80. Okay, Our center crosshair is zeroed at 40 yards. We've moved the target back to 80 yards. Now to execute shots beyond 40 yards, we need to start using the reticle's drop references. Now the reticle's drop references are only going to be accurate at a single magnification that corresponds with the feet per second rating on your crossbow. We've turned the magnification dial so the indexing mark matches up with the corresponding feet per second rating. For example, this crossbow is rated at 385 feet per second. Now we're going to hold on the 80-yard reference in the reticle and execute the shot. Our first shot is a little bit low at 80 yards. What we're going to do is fire 2 more shots to confirm where we're at and then adjust from there. We've gone down range to take a look at our 80-yard target. Our impacts are extremely consistent, but they're low. We're going to take the magnification dial and turn it down or slower to compensate for that. We left one of the arrows in the target to have a visual reference while we make this magnification adjustment. I'm going to hold my 80-yard mark exactly where it was before and dial the magnification down until that 80-yard reference matches up with the arrow that's still left in the target. That should be about right. We've got an on-target impact at 80 yards shooting off the reticle. We've essentially custom-tuned the magnification to work with this exact crossbow setup. Now we're going to use a pencil so we can reference that mark and come back with something more permanent so we never lose it in the field. Always remember, this crossbow scope is zeroed at 40 yards. To engage targets closer or further than that distance, you will need to be on your personalized custom magnification setting to use the drop references in the reticle. If you have any questions on this crossbow scope or anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out via phone, email, any of our social media platforms, the comments below. We're always here to help.